Welcome back to YGO Podcast, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning back in to the channel once more for another deck profile. Today we have Mikanko's here. And Mikanko's is getting really popular just because the deck has been showing up quite a bit in the regional scene and also popping up here in top decks at some specialized events. So I thought it'd be best to profile this deck next. So that way you guys can know what to expect when going into the post Photon Hypernova format. But first, we're currently at 218 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my socials. You can follow me on Instagram at YGO_OG. And also you can follow me on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, YGO TCG Decks. I'd love to see you guys there. Let's go ahead and get into the profile. But first and last, actually, I should say, is that let's go ahead and start hitting that subscribe button. Let's get to 300 subs, guys. We're really doing good for the channel. Views, everything. Make sure that you guys are leaving a comment in the comment section. I love reading comments. I love responding to the community. And I also, if you guys have any feedback as far as how to run a deck better, I will pin the best comment at the top. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. All right, so you're going to be running two of your Ohime. What is this? The Manifested Mikanko. Now, as you guys know, I believe it's not necessarily in Photon Hypernova. It could be the next set, Cyberse Access, that there is still another Mikanko monster. I believe it's a wind one. But what I would like to say is that this card right here, you want to run this at 2 for this deck. This is going to be pretty much your engine for the Mikanko monsters. So Ohime is a level 6 light fairy ritual monster, 0 attack, 0 defense. And as you'll see here in a minute, the effect is pretty busted. So it says that you can ritual summon this card using Mikanko Kagura, cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken involving this card. You can only use each of the following effects of Ohime or once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, add one Mikanko card from your deck to your hand. It says then discard one card. Then she has a quick effect that says you can target one equipped spell in your graveyard and equip it to the appropriate monster on the field. So, of course, this monster is going to be pretty much your starter for the Mikanko cards, and it's going to also keep those equips within circulation. So you don't necessarily need to have them in your hand. You can also have them on the field and recirculating and circulating around, kind of pretty much being annoying to your opponent. And then you're going to be running one fray and then one Ni, the Mikanko. All right, and their effects are the level 3 fire warrior type monster's effect is if this card is not equipped with an equipped card, you take no battle damage involving this card. If this card is equipped with an equipped card, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken involving this card. If this if an equipped card becomes equipped to this card, good lord, that is a tongue twister there. You can add one Mikanko spell from your deck to your hand. So essentially that is going to be your spell searcher right there is going to be fray. And then for the water Mikanko, level 3 spellcaster type, her effect is essentially it's the same. It says if this card is equipped with an equipped card, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. So I would say, I kind of misspoke there. She's the exact opposite. When she's equipped with something, you don't take any damage. When the fire one is equipped with nothing, you take no damage. So it says if this card is equipped with an equipped card, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any damage from battle you would have taken involving this card. During your opponent's turn, while this card is equipped with an equipped card, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. So I think you're kind of getting the theme for this deck now. And the theme for this deck is essentially putting these cards in circulation and controlling the field. Okay, that's essentially what you're going to be doing. So you're going to run one Mikanko Water Arabesque, then one Mikanko Fire Dance, one Mikanko Reflection Rondo, one Mikanko Purification Ritual, I believe, or Purification Dance, and then one Mikanko Kagura, and then one The Great Mikanko. All right, so those are going to be your extra spells. And essentially, I could go over them. I will try to. I'll go over the ones that are important. Okay, so I'll go over the first three. The other three, I'll see if it doesn't run the video on too long. I definitely see. So, Water Arabesque states that it says the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. During your main phase, you can special summon one Mikanko monster from your hand or deck with a different original name than the equipped monster, and if you do, equip it with this card, then return the monster that was previously equipped with this card to the hand. So not too bad. Definitely special summoning out of the deck is an amazing feature for this kind of deck to have, right? And then for your Fire Dance, it's gonna state that you can special summon one Mikanko monster from your hand. And if you do, equip it with this card. Then special summon one monster from your opponent's graveyard to their field, but negate its effects. The monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. The equipped monster. So that's pretty good. That's going to set your opponent up for taking some extreme damage, since all your Mikanko monsters have 0 attack. The whole point is to set up a big boy on your opponent's field and then beat your own face in, but your opponent will be taking all the damage. Then for Mikanko Reflection Rondo, it says equip only to an opponent's monster, and while you control a Mikanko monster, take control of that equipped monster. Neither player can activate effects of the equipped monster while you control it. This card says when this card leaves the field, send the monster to the graveyard. You can only control one Mikanko Reflection Rondo, and you can only activate one Reflection Rondo once per turn. Okay? Then on down to the next one, that's going to be Mikanko Purification Dance. It says equip only to a Mikanko monster. The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. If the monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, except during the damage step, you can target one monster you control and one monster your opponent controls and return them to the hand. And then you have your ritual spell card, which is Mikanko Kagura. And it says this card can be used to ritual summon any Mikanko ritual monster. So that's actually a really good thing right there, because that is Konami future-proofing this archetype. So essentially, if we get any more Mikanko ritual monsters, this card right here will allow you to ritual summon any monsters that we get in the future. Then it says if the monster, you must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. Then you can apply the following effect. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of equipped spells with different names in your graveyard, and if you do, afflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. Not too bad. Definitely there to get your opponent a little low on life points. I think it's a great card. Obviously, that anything that blows up cards and deals effect damage, in my opinion, is pretty busted. And for your last Mikanko spell, the Great Mikanko Ceremony, it says special summon one Mikanko monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. But return it to the hand during your opponent's end phase. So essentially, this will be to bring out your ritual monster, ignoring its summoning conditions, or any other future ritual Mikankos that there will be. And it says, but return it to the hand during the end phase. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, send one Mikanko card from your deck to the graveyard. Except the Mikanko Great Ceremony, you can only use each effect once per turn. So, as you see, the Mikankos are quite a strong archetype, and a lot of folks really did not have faith in the archetype before it came out, or as it was released in Amazing Defenders. Amazing Defenders is kind of hailed as a failed set. I don't disagree as far as some of the choices for rarity, but it goes without saying that this archetype is extremely strong. So moving on to the next. So for the next part of the deck, you're going to be running a Libromancer core to help assist finding those ritual monsters, okay? And I'm going to try to move through these as fast as possible. So you're going to be running 3 Libromancer fires. Now, I've seen other builds where people will run two of this, two fire, two geek boy, or the ratios might be different. I think that Libromancer Fire is going to be your initiator. It's going to be a really good initiator for being able to find, I believe it's a spell card. No, he finds a monster. So your Libromancer Fire is really good for helping you search out your monsters. And then your Geek Boy, I believe, helps you search out your Libromancer spell cards from your deck, right? So this is going to help you find. So Fire helps you find Geek Boy. Geek Boy helps you find the field spell. The field spell helps you find other cards. All right. So I'm running 2 Geek Boy. I think that you don't need to overdo it with 3. Everything's pretty searchable with this engine. I think 2 Libromancer agents is probably where it's at, in my opinion. I just don't like to see one of a card, especially if it's really good. Then you're going to run 1 Doom Broker. And then you're going to run 2 of your Libromancer First Appearance, which is your field spell. It's going to help you search. And then you're going to run 1 of your Libromancer Interventions. And this card is just pretty much going to help you keep your opponent from activating certain cards or effects that's going to stop you from making your plays or going to break your board. All right. So that's pretty much it for the Libromancer core. Moving on to the deck extras. So you can't run this deck really without having 3 Diviner of the Herald. And Diviner just kind of initiates sending cards from extra deck or your deck to the grave. Really what you would like her to become is a level 6, so that way she can you can make your synchro plays. All right. Then you're going to be running 1 Cyber Angel Benton. I'm thinking that most of the people watching this deck profile, they understand how strong Benton is and understand why it is at 1. And then we're going to be running 1 Magician Souls and 2 Illusion of Chaos. This package, a lot of folks choose not to run this package anymore. I still think it's a really good card to help you unbrick from some of your cards that could be stuck in your hand. So I do think that until we have a more consistent way of unbricking certain bricky cards, I would like to keep this package within the deck. And then you're going to be running 1 Noble Knight Renaud. And okay, that's just pretty much going to help you have a tuner plus access to certain equip cards. And then you're going to be running, since we're running a lot of equips, you have to run Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. All right, and Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is just going to be your Omni Negate. He's also going to be kind of your pseudo boss monster that's going to help you steal cards and monsters from your opponent and negate cards and card effects. So he's just really OP in my opinion. I don't know why he didn't see more play, but he's in this deck. I'm glad to have him. All right, so let's continue on with a couple more cards here for the main deck. We're going to be running 3 Emergency Teleport, kind of to round things out. So I do have some collector's rares here. I will mention that because I am very proud of having those. It was hard to get those. Then you're going to be running 3 Preparation of Rites. So your emergency teleports will be, because you have Geek Boy and he is a psychic monster, that's going to help find your Geek Boy as soon as possible. Then, of course, we're going to be running the usual 3 Bestial Magnamut, 3 Bestial Druid Worm. So boring, so dry, but we have to run them. I've seen other deck profiles where people run Dark Ruler no more. They'll run other draw engines within the deck. I just think that currently, right now, this is going to be your best bet. You need to have board presence within this meta. You can side these out if need be, but I think going into game 1, you need to have more interactive cards to play with your opponent. So, in my opinion, if you're going to play Dark Ruler No More or Evenly Match, you need to side those cards, okay? Can't stress that to you enough. All right, so that's going to be it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the extra. So for our Link 4 monsters, we are running 1 Boros Sword. So essentially this deck is just putting bodies on the board. You are going to beat your opponent's face in with Boros Sword Dragon. Then you're going to be running 1 Appaloosa. This is kind of the setup more so on the first turn. Since you can make a whole bunch of bodies, you can also create a whole bunch of negates. Then you're going to be running 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and that is because we also run IP Masquerena within the extra deck. Then you're going to be running 1 Dark, the Dark Charmer, because we have a lot of darks that we have in the deck, including the Bestial package. Then we're going to be running 1 Isolde, Two Tails of the Noble Knights. We are running equip cards. We are running warrior cards. It makes sense. All right. Then we're running one Sprite Elf. This could arguably be two if you have room for it, but I think one should help facilitate you getting back out your diviner out onto the field to also facilitate another sending from the deck or extra deck. Then you're going to be running one Ferocious Flame Swordsman. This card I really don't like. I think you could also run. What is it? The Code Breaker, I believe. I think you could also run that. However, it does have its uses for when you need some extra warrior monsters on the field. And for our Link 2s, we're running IP Masquerena and Cross Sheep. And that'll be it for pretty much our Link package. In my opinion, I think once we get some more stronger Link monsters, we can vie for a little bit better options for our Link 4 strategies. I really don't think Access Code belongs in this deck. All right. On to our other extra deck monsters. So we'll be running one, because we're running Bestials, we'll be running one Willow Founder, and then one AAA Zeus. Now, you can run one card that I think that would make a huge difference is you could run Beatrice within this deck. You have multiple ways to get to a rank 6 monster. So I just want to go ahead and put that in for as food for thought. Next, you'll be running one Baron de Fleur. And Baron de Fleur, obviously, you can make a 6 and have a 4. And you can make Diviner a level 6. And we have level 4 tuners within the deck. So therefore, you can facilitate a level 10 synchro. Okay, and then we're going to be using one Herald of the Arclight and then one Elder Entity Intis. And as you notice, we have one extra spot here. In my opinion, you can use either one more Intis or one more Herald of the Arclight. I suggest probably one more Herald of the Arclight, but I will leave that up to you to decide. And that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Mikankos are a very strong deck that we have that are coming into the meta, especially, this upcoming meta post-Photon Hypernova. As you know, that is going to be Kashtira hype all day long. And I hope you guys are ready for some different options in playing in the next format. So if you like the profile, please like, comment, subscribe. This is YGO Podcast, in case you didn't get the name of the channel. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys at the next conversation. Peace out.